Hello everyone! I'm so happy to see you on my channel Art Fischler School. My name is Sasha Fischler and we will paint today with watercolor. So first, it will be Asian jungle and we will do it first with the sketch. There is a reference, please have a look on it. So first, we make a landscape always starting with the horizon line. Even if you cannot see it on the picture, anyway you need to just understand it. Where is it? Yeah, and it's usually on the level of your eyes. You need to make a line, and all the lines, all the parallel lines in perspective, they will go to the one point on this line. That's why we need it. So yeah, I'm gonna move it here. It's something like third part. Maybe actually you're able to make sketch without my instructions, just by yourself. Some vertical lines for the trees, palm trees. Okay, let's say coconut trees. This is two big leaves from the left part. And house on the left side. Very small simple triangle and vertical line down. We cannot see the roof because it's upper than our horizon line, so only like this will be enough. This fence here go also to the one point. There is some small coconut trees on the right side from this building, if we could say building, house. Two big and long trees. Okay, now let's start to paint. No need to focus on sketch too much. So first I'm only doing my paper wet with water and big brush, taking some blue color, and on top of this paper my color is quite more intensive. There is more blue. I'm trying to make it between of the leaves, but if you will paint the leaves, it's also very good and more than okay, because it's like one tone for everywhere. Now this small road, I'm also making it wet first. So and I'm taking yellow ochre. Yeah. So the most important rule in watercolor: first, we always start only with the light. So first, only transparent colors, only light. If it's natural light, sunlight, it's always warm. So we're using yellow, orange, yellow ochre, maybe nice warm green, yeah. And it's very nice if you paint on the wet paper, especially on the second plan, because all the silhouettes, they're not so straight, especially on the second plan. So now let's come back to the road on the first plan, and now I'm taking yellow ochre to make a base color. And for the shadows, I'm mixing this color with brown and some ultramarine. Because all our shadows should be cool, yeah, it's always a little bit with blue color. And on the first plan I'm using some green. This is sap green, like dark one. And some light also on the first plan. So you can see that I'm using bright colors also. This is yellow and green mixed together, and it looks quite brighter than our second plan. On top you can see that colors are much lighter, but we will come back to them later. So now between of this wood I'm coloring it with the grass colors. Some green and yellow on the palm tree, coconut tree. Some more on the left side. And on the second plan I'm working not with the details, but I'm working with the big spots. And for the first I'm just coloring everywhere. So this bright green I'm using for the objects which are closer to me a little bit, and more water and more transparent on the second plan. Okay, so now you can see we have light everywhere on the first and second plan, and we only need to color house also, and some things on the right side. So usually, again, when you're making first layer, usually in watercolor there is 3 layers. When you're making first layer, it should be everywhere transparent and very, very light. So first you're doing it with adding some water on your brush. Your brush always have to be wet, and that's why actually we call it watercolor, because it's always about balance between colors and water on your brush and on your work. And now you can see I'm using this ultramarine color again, mixing it with brown and ochre, and just a small drop of orange to make some shadows on the first plan, make some shadows on the road. The light is coming from the left side, so on the right side we need to add shadows everywhere. Here I am adding it on the left side because of the grass. So grass is growing on the left side, and it makes shadows on the road. For the house I'm using my brown. Kind of orange, very warm brown. First, again, we're making only light, it's just the first layer. To the shadows we will come back later. This brown color here means that some of the leaves was sunburned, and now they have brown color. And for the shadows between all the trees, for the shadows in the jungle, I'm using this dark blue. It's kind of gray blue. Some leaves also with this color, but again pay attention, if it's far, it's very transparent and light. On the left side you can see that now I'm going around the palm tree, around the leaf, yellow leaf, and here I'm gonna show with my shadows where is the light. So I just over painted. And again, I'm working only with the big surfaces, yeah? I'm not painting now with the shadows each leaf. I'm doing big area. For some leaves, I'm using very bright. And for the tropical leaves, it's very important because they usually have these very bright colors, and it shows the place of theirs growing, that it's like jungle, you know. For the shadows on the leaves, I'm using sap green, or sometimes you can add some blue color. Okay, so now it's time to go to the shadows, and now I'm mixing ultramarine or any blue color with green, with sap green, so with dark green. If you're making shadows, always use dark colors for this. So if for example your base was ochra, like for the road, you need to take darker shade of ochra. So you can just take brown and make your shadows cool. So add some blue. Now I'm making my second plan a bit darker, and now I'm trying to I'm coming to my first plan, to the coconut tree on the left side. I'm taking this dark blue color. It looks like gray, right? But it's too boring. It's not professional to take just black to make gray, you know. So for the shadows, we're using brown color and blue. Next lines going up. And you can see there is some brown between of them. Pay attention that I started dark and then I go up with a very transparent and light color. Making shadow on the road a bit deeply, more dark. Some bright colors like orange and brown for the first plan, for the burnt grass again. So here you see some grass in the tropical countries usually getting how to say, when it dries on the sun and it becomes brown orange. Some yellow color on the sides. So now you can feel already that leaf on top on the left side is on the first plan, and it's brighter. It's very contrasting because you can see very dark shadows compared to light, very light and bright light side. And now we just continue with the first plan, making grass. And far from us, I'm doing this again shadows between of the trees, but here I don't need to use too dark green, so now it's too dark. Please make it more transparent with water and add some more colors. So I usually call it open color. When you're using color just from your tube, from your cuvette, it looks so so bright. So you can just do it with adding some blue. I feel like I need to make my shadows on the second plan a bit darker, more intensive. Look, I'm always doing still like some trees, like a palm leaves. Don't forget what you're painting here. It's not just a forest, it's tropical forest, so it's always somewhere need to be some small leaves. I'm doing shadows a bit darker to show the light of the leaves. Again, I'm like over painting. And now I mix like something looks like black color. It's again brown and blue. And here I'm making darker some shadows on the first plan, on the tree. You can also show some texture with the horizontal lines, texture of the tree. And the shadows always on the right side, because light from the left side. If I feel it's quite empty and boring somewhere, I'm just adding some more details, some more leaves. So it's now time for the shadow on the house. And I'm using same color somewhere else. And now just wash your brush, and this line I'm gonna blend a little bit. So now you can see that second plan in the middle especially is quite too bright and too dark, and we need to work with the first plan more intensive. Maybe on your picture it looks different. I mean, maybe you did it already contrasting and good, but for me it feels like I need to work a little bit more on the first plan and make it more dark for the shadows. Here I'm adding some details on the house to make it looking more natural. And some leaves. now I'm taking a black liner. It can be just a black pen, and doing some details too, but I don't want to make it too much because here it's already enough with the colors, enough dark. And I'm doing a little bit more grass on the first plan. I'm sorry you cannot see this piece of my paper. I will move it now. Needs some more color work with the bright colors for the grass. Okay, and now the last things is our grass. Please take a small brush and let's do the small details. But actually it's very nice if you have a big brush with a very tiny end, and you can do this with the big brush because it's easier to use. No need to go to the colors often because your big brush keeps colors. Keep more colors on it. Some grass on the first plan. Now the very last thing I'm gonna do is it's actually quite out of the rules, but I would like to add some more light, and I will use white color. But maybe you don't have it. In professional watercolors there is usually no white, but we can use gouache. There is also possibility to use masculine liquid, but for the very small lines, for the tiny lines, it's not that easy. So to make very small details, it's actually more easy with white color. And I'm gonna use watercolor, but you can do it with gouache too, or even actually acrylic. But let me finish first my last things. So first I'm doing some more shadows here. And now it's time for white. Okay, and we are done. My name is Sasha Fischler. Don't forget to write your name on your picture. Please like and subscribe me if you like this video and if you like my channel. That would be the best support you can give me. And see you on the next videos.